Hi friends! You want to learn Japanese, but you don't know where to start. And you want to find ways to master the Japanese language, but it should be fun and easy. Then you're in the right place, because today I'm gonna give you tips on how to learn Japanese in a fun and easy way, especially kanji and vocabulary. This video will help you to learn Japanese fast and effective without any pressure or boring textbooks. So let's first discuss why is Japanese actually so difficult. Firstly, the writing system is really complex. As you may know, there are 3 different scripts, so kanji, hiragana and katakana. Of course, hiragana and katakana are pretty easy because they don't have so many characters. And if you review them regularly, you should be able to read them fluently in 1 or 2 weeks at the most. But kanji is a whole different concept because kanji are very complex characters and there are so many out there. Even if you want to read the Japanese newspaper, you will need over 2000 or like around 2000 to understand it. So kanji can be very hard to learn. And some of them look very similar, so you can easily confuse them. And besides that, each kanji also has multiple readings and can be pronounced differently depending on in what word it appears. But don't stress, it is not as hard as it sounds, and I will show you now some easy and fun ways to practice kanji and vocabulary. The first way how you can study vocabulary and kanji at the same time, because kanji also appear in the vocabulary that you're going to learn, is to stick sticky notes around your apartment, like on things you want to learn the vocabulary for. For example, if you can't remember the word risotto, like the word for refrigerator, you can write it on a sticky note, and also you can use the kanji, for example, and then write the hiragana version below that. So you will learn the vocabulary word and the kanji at the same time. And then you can stick the sticky note on your refrigerator door, and every time you open your fridge, you can review the card. And that way you're passively learning your vocabulary without having to sit down and review your flashcards. So it's also a really good idea for people who are very busy, like myself, for example. And if you want to have fun with it, you can plaster sticky notes all around your apartment and put vocabulary words on every single furniture item, for example. And that way you can decorate your whole apartment and passively learn your vocabulary without having to sit down and study in a real study session. So it's also a quite lazy way, to be honest. And the second way, how you can make learning kanji and vocabulary more fun and also easy, is to use an inspiring and cheerful app like the MochiMochi App, which is actually the sponsor of today's video. MochiMochi is a spaced repetition app for learning vocabulary and kanji. And spaced repetition basically means that at the start, when you learn a new word, you will see it more frequently. And when you get the word right, it will show you the word in bigger intervals. So it will space out the repetition more and more. So that way you don't have to review every single word every single day, and you only have to focus on the word that you forgot yesterday, for example. And on top of that, MochiMochi also uses some special algorithms that will analyze your learning history, and based on that, it will recommend you your golden time. Golden time is the time right before you're going to forget the word that you've just learned. So by reviewing the word at this time, you will make your studying more effectively and avoid any unnecessary repetitions. And by reviewing the words and vocabulary at your golden time, it will be much easier for your brain to remember the words. And it will also make your studying more effectively because you don't have to review everything every time. This is really great, especially right now, like right before the JLPT, when you're like me and you have lot of words left to learn, because then you can really focus on the words that you need to review like right at the moment, and you don't have to review like every 1500 words you're going to learn. You only have to study 10 to 15 minutes with the app each day, and it will remind you throughout the day like when your golden time is, so you don't have to sit down like 15 minutes as a whole, but you can space it throughout your day, and also use the dead time, for example, if you wait in line for the bus or at the cashier, for example. So that way it will feel not so much, and it's a lot easier to learn like as you go throughout your day. All the 6000 plus words in the app are categorized by the JLPT level, and within the level by topic. And each topic has around 10 words in kanji, so it's really easy to go through one subject. But there are also other categories outside the JLPT. For example, words for basic conversation, IQ vocabulary, and also the Minano Nihongo books. The basic conversation vocabulary is definitely something that I will look into after the JLPT, because I am not that great at conversation, and having a baseline of words that are helpful for conversation will be really great. While learning the words, they're presented to you via appealing flashcards, They have lively pictures on them, also the pronunciation, the translation of the word and an example sentence. Your learned words are divided into 5 different levels. Level 1 means these are the words that you've just learned, so they're really fresh in your memory and easy to forget. And level 5 means that the words have migrated into your long-term memory, so that means those are the words that you're unlikely to forget because you reviewed them multiple times and you've got them right multiple times. And as you review the words more and more, of course, more vocabulary cards will migrate to higher levels. What I like most about the app is its cute and bright design, and especially Mochi, the main character or the mascot. I really love him because he's so cute and he's so cheerful. And even after a long and stressful day, I'm still happy to review the cards, and I'm not like, oh, I still have to do them. I'm like, oh yeah, nice, this will pick me up, put me into a great mood. So I can highly recommend the app. I will put the link for the app in the description box below and also in the pinned comment. And if you also want to try the app, just click on the link. Or of course, you can also download the app in your app store, for example. Just type in MochiMochi, learn Kanji, and you can just download it and try it out. Another great way how you can learn Japanese the fun and easy way is to use social media. And yes, you've heard me right, social media. For example, Instagram. You can just follow a few Japanese accounts that post about things you're interested in, for example, pets or traveling, or in my case, pole dance, for example. And you can just go through their posts. And if you see a word that you don't know, for example, you can just take a screenshot on your phone from the post. And on iPhone, for example, you can select from the screenshot the text, put it into a translation app, and then you can make a vocabulary card. Or if you're just too lazy and you hate vocabulary cards, just leave it. Like say, okay, this is what the word means. I realized this is the meaning. And then just read on. Like the most important words you're going to need, you will stumble across multiple times. And if you translate them again and again, they will stick in your head someday. But if you happen to create vocabulary cards, try to make vocabulary cards that are really fun to look at. For example, you can use pictures or you can use your favorite colors and just make them bright and interesting. The next tip is to watch Japanese movies or shows. Of course, watching something you're interested in is also a great way to help you learn new vocabulary, because you can also pick up some new words or also some new grammar you don't know while watching your favorite show. And it will also help to cement in the words that you've already learned if you stumble across them in the show again and again. Some shows I love to watch are, for example, Ainori or also Terrace House, because those are reality TV shows and you will have a lot of vocabulary, especially in the first episode, where everyone is introducing themselves. So it's quite easy to understand, at least at the beginning of those shows, and you can find a lot of useful vocabulary, for example, for introducing yourself and also talking about your life, what you do for work, etc. A lot of beginners already know those things, so you will also be able to understand this part even as a beginner, which is a really great feeling. And another great way to keep up your high vibes is, of course, to reward yourself after your study session. And this is something most of us forget, I feel like, especially in exam season, like it's right now for the JLPT. We are doing so much and we're studying so much, but we oftentimes don't reward ourselves for that. Prepare a bath for yourself, plan a meeting with your friends, for example, after your study session, so you can look forward to it throughout your session and also be motivated to finish in time. And even if you can't do everything you wanted to do, please also celebrate your small wins and also take a break. Don't try to push yourself to your limits, because it's so important to also consider that we need to recharge our batteries, or otherwise we will get study burnout and this won't help anyone. So please give yourself grace, especially in exam season like we are in right now. So let's recap what we've discussed today. First, use sticky notes throughout your apartment. Secondly, use a fun and cheerful app like the MochiMochi app, for example. Third, you can use social media. Fourth, you can, for example, watch a Japanese show or movie. And the fifth tip is please reward yourself and also be kind to yourself. So those were all the tips I had today for learning Japanese in a fun and easy way. Please let me know what your favorite tip was. And also please don't forget to check out the MochiMochi app that I linked in the pinned comment below. If you found this video helpful and also know someone who could also benefit from it, please share it with them. And if you want to know more about how I learn Japanese, you can check out those videos right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next Sunday for another video. Bye bye!